Elisa, what's going on? Girl, what's up? Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. Elisa, tell me
Yes,
about yourself.
yes. Well, my name is Elisa. I'm 20 years old and I was homeschooled since about third grade. Yeah, so a lot going on. I'm in college right now. I'm studying online. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, super cool. So you were homeschooled for most of your life, basically.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and were you in classical conversations the whole time?
Yeah, actually, we started at like on our own for the first year, then we did a co-op for 1 year, then we found CC, and that was about fourth or fifth grade, and it really, helped us, have structure. So yeah, and we've been doing that ever since.
And
So
okay, so fourth and fifth grade. So you did all the challenge, like challenge A, one, two, three,
yeah, I
four.
did 2 years of foundations, and then I did all of the challenge classes.
And how did you like the? And so for all of you that are watching this that may not know, be familiar with what challenge is like classical conversations, junior high and high school program is kind of what,
Yeah,
and then foundations is like their elementary school, and then essentials like their middle school. So you did 2 years of foundations and essential stuff, and then
yeah.
you did all their junior high and high school program, which we call challenge. So how was that? What
Yeah.
was that experience like?
Oh, it was really great. I really loved challenge. Starting like I did challenge A through 4, and I really liked the high school like 1 through 4. Um, Year 4 was probably my favorite out of all of them. Yeah, it's very interesting to like see how like all of the stuff that you learn in foundations and essentials, how it like circles back into the challenge classes, which was really interesting to see. Especially because like my little brother, he got to do all of the foundations like twice over. So in challenge, like he has like no problem like going through it. So it's really fun to like watch it like come back around.
And what did you enjoy the most about, like you said, Challenge Four was your favorite? Why
Yeah.
was your senior year? Why was that your favorite?
Yeah, because really it was tough because we didn't have like a challenge class, so I did all of the work like on my own, just me and my mom. But it was my favorite because a lot of the reading and the discussion we got to do like at the dinner table. So it was really like a lot of like thinking, not really much book work, but it was very fun to have like those conversations like about like, philosophy, religion, life, everything, just like with my parents, even though I didn't have like a class, like the discussion was really what I loved about it.
Okay, so your senior year, you didn't have a class of peers. So
Yeah.
how did you do anything outside of like what would you do outside of CC?
Yeah, so I mean, my senior year, I worked part-time at some places. I worked on a farm for 2 summers. I worked for CC. I did practicums as the recess leader. And it was really fun to like do work and also be in school. It really helped me develop time management, which was something I've been working on my whole high school career. Um, so yeah, it was a lot of fun to be able to do both. And then, looking back at Challenge 4, I do wish I had a class that I went to, but I really did enjoy being able to like jump right into working and life and, stuff like that.
That's great. So once you graduated from Challenge Four, what was next? What would you do next?
Yeah, so after graduation, my mom was like, get a job. And so I went to the mall, I got a job, and I've been working there about 3 years now. And it was actually very interesting because like I started online college, and so she said either be a student or get a job, and you can't do nothing. And I was like, okay, then I'll be a student and I'll get a job. So I did both. So I'm doing college online right now, and I'm working, and I'm paying for myself for college. So it's really interesting. Like I finally get to say that I'm an adult. um, but yeah, like I started that first year out of school. I started at the mall, just working retail, and then after about like 6 or 7 months of that, they made me the assistant manager, and then 6 or 7 months after that, they asked if I wanted to manage my own store. So I did that for a year, and
Okay,
then
wait. Okay, so you were how old when they asked you to
yeah.
be the assistant?
I was, I want to say 18, and then I turned 19. And then right when I turned 20, they asked if I wanted to be a manager. And so then I've been doing that for this past year.
Of the
Um,
store.
yes, yeah, of a store. They moved me to a different spot, a different mall, and I got to pick my own team. I got to, hire people, train people. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
At at 19 or 20?
I was about 20, I want to say. Yeah.
I mean, still, like, we're talking a matter of months. So that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and how so you were hiring, you were firing, you were running all the employees.
Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was a manager for one store for I almost hit my 1 year, and then right before I hit my 1 year, they moved me to a different store. They said, "You did such a great job. You've developed such a great team that we want you to do it again over here." So,
Get
yeah.
out! What? That's
Yeah.
crazy talk. So
Yeah, actually, when I moved to that store, and then my manager, when she had met me, she was like, "Wow, I had no idea like how young you were." And I was like, "Yeah, like I just kind of was having fun with it, and it went further than I thought." So,
do you feel that your homeschool experience impacted your professional job experience that you're doing right now?
actually, yes. I mean, at first, I kind of was just like, "Oh, it's just a job, like anyone can do it." But like after working there for like 3 years now, it's been a lot. And I've seen like I haven't seen it like in myself because like I'm working and I'm thinking like, oh, this is something everyone does. But hearing from like my different bosses, like you're doing such a great job, like how are you managing all of this? And I'm doing school, and like it's difficult for me to see it because like I'm in it. But hearing that from like my peers, from my boss, from my mom, like I mean my mom's gonna say that because she's my mom, but like looking back, like I feel like homeschooling definitely helped me develop the skills to do time management, to be able to ask the right questions, to hire the right people. How to learn something really helped me, because like it wasn't like I did get taught what I was taught, but knowing how to develop skills really helped. And then also learning how to teach skills to other people.
So you had years of your homeschool, experience with classical conversations where you were a part of a community.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so just maybe that last year, but the other years you had
yeah.
obviously classes and stuff like that. So yeah, because one of the things that we've been homeschooling for almost 8 years now, and one of the most common things is like, how do you socialize your kid,
Yeah,
right?
I
Which
got
is
that question a lot.
right, which is so funny. And now like here the 19-20-year-old homeschool kid is like running the show at a store. So clear, and retail's no joke for anyone that's been in
Yeah,
retail.
yeah,
Retail is brutal. That's a whole nother animal, I feel, by itself. And so I'm assuming that you're responsible for, in charge of folks that are not 20.
yeah, yeah. I've got a few people. I've gotten definitely a few looks at the manager meetings. But it's really, like once they like get to know me, I'm not like just a 20-year-old kid. Like, like I'm there, I'm a manager, I'm doing the same job everyone else is. Um, but like whenever I say I was homeschooled, people are like surprised and shocked, like, oh my gosh, like you can talk to me so well. And I was like, yeah, like we learn how to talk when we're homeschooled. So it's been pretty good. Um, yeah, like a lot of times that's like a defining feature. Like when I say that I was homeschooled, then people immediately call me like the homeschooler. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing it.
What do you feel your strengths and superpowers are, Elisa?
My superpowers. I feel like for since like high school and onward, middle school, even I guess forward, I feel like my like superpower would be just like thinking things through, because I've witnessed like a lot of my friends go through a lot of like drama, like hard times, like relationships, friends, boyfriends, whatever. um and a lot of the time, like just from an outside perspective, I can see issues are miscommunication or not thinking things through to the point where like like what the right decision would be in any case. So whenever like anything happens to me or like drama happens, like my friends are always like, why don't you just do this, why don't you just do that? And I'm like, let me process everything first and then react. So I feel like that's definitely been my superpower. Trying to think things through before I do anything.
Love it. That's excellent, and such a critical leadership skill. What's your long term? Where do you see yourself in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years?
So, I mean, right now I'm doing what I'm doing because it was just like a job that I had gotten. But after being like in the company for a while, I really do enjoy this work. And so, my goals right now are to finish college and then to move upward in the company. And right now I'm at a manager spot. So, like, I'm going to have to sit there for a little bit before I can move on and move upward. But because it's a little bit of a small, it's a big company, but it's a little bit smaller than like, the bigger retailer stores. But my plan is to like to move upward in this company and then, maybe reach out to other companies that I would enjoy working for also. But like that, and also like I want to, get married, have a family, and homeschool my kids one day. So I like trying to balance like all that together. Because I want to do everything, which is a lot, but
How do you feel homeschooling or maybe challenge level impacted your faith?
yes, definitely did. I always, just had, like the basic, like when I was growing up, I was like, yes, I'm a Christian. Yeah. I like, oh yeah, that's my family. We're in the church. But it didn't really cement itself like inside me until I was like in middle school, in high school, and I saw like some of my friends from church kind of like drift away from that. I saw some people like come really into Christ, but like being homeschooled, I feel like it affected me in the sense that I didn't have to deal with a lot of like the drama that my friends had to deal with, like being at school, like being at a public school or whatever, or a private school. Just like every time I saw my friends, something had happened, like always. And so being able to just kind of like have the alone time to have, time in the word, in Christ, in prayer, it definitely impacted me. And then, so then when I did go to church, when I did go to youth group, it was like, okay, I'm here now. Like, I got to focus on like, the word because, I didn't have like any distractions to keep me from that. And I feel like if I had just like based on my own personality, if I had gone to like a school, I definitely would not be where I am with Christ, just because I do tend to find myself being pulled towards like, other friends or other like people, and I have to kind of recenter myself every once in a while and say like, this isn't who you are. So being able to, kind of stay focused has definitely helped.
Love it. So, a couple more questions.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a challenge kid right now? They're in challenge, whatever the challenge level is, coming from a challenge grad, an alum who's very successful, right? In based on where you're at in your company and is managing your own store now,
Yes.
running employees and hiring and firing and all that stuff. What advice would you give to that challenge student?
I guess the best advice that, I always tell to, my little brother is just don't take things too seriously. It feels like the end of the world not being able to finish your book report or not being able to, make that Annie chart. But it's really not. Like there's so much more to like life, and just, finishing school is important. It's very important to learn, but it's more important to learn how to learn so that way you can like move forward. um and even like in school and in work especially, don't take it too seriously because this world is not our home. That's a big one that has, helped me stay focused. Because like yes, what I'm doing is important, but it's not the end. Yeah.
Love it. Excellent. Excellent, Skinny. Okay. Now, one last question, Elisa, is what advice would you give to that homeschooling mom whose kid is in challenge or even essentials, whatever, and they're like, man, am I doing the right thing? And self-doubt and being critical of themselves, all
Yeah.
that stuff. What advice would you tell the mom?
Don't give up. Just because, it's easy to say, okay, fine, someone else can deal with my kid. You put them in school, that's fine, just someone else deal with them. But really, for a mom, for a parent, I would just say don't give up, because my relationship with my mom is so great because we went through what we went through. Like, we homeschooled, I asked for help and I got it. And like, just don't give up. Like, like your kid will say they hate you, but they don't. And you've got to remind them that you love them too. So that's the whole point of this, for learning and everything. Like, the only reason we ever teach our kids anything is because we love them and we want them to succeed. So to just cement that fact and realize that it's not that serious, you don't need that book report to be 100% finished if you know that what you're learning for.
Awesome. Elisa, thank you so much for your time. You absolutely
Yes, no
crushed it.
problem.
Amazing, Skinny. So excited for how God is going to continue to use you to impact your company and all the people around you as you grow
Thank
into
you.
the leader that God's, called you to be. So thank you so much for your time, Elisa.
Yes, thank you so much.